and thank you for joining us here on Ask 9. We have a very special Monday edition for you. I'm here with Kristin Rogers.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So we are going to get to know Kristin a little bit. This is going to be her Ask an Anchor segment. There's a lot already. I got sent some photos.
Yes.
That have already displayed some things I did not know about Kristin. So this is especially exciting for me. I love this segment because I just get to know a little bit more about all my coworkers.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Okay, so we're going to start before you got into journalism.
Taking it back.
Throwbacks that you provided to us. Kristin is so much more than just a journalist, guys. She's an athlete and what is this photo? Were you a model at some point?
No, I did the Miss Omaha pageant in college, senior year. I was interning at KETV, which is a station in Omaha, and I was interning in the sports department. And one of the anchors' wives was a pageant coach.
Oh my goodness.
So I got strongly encouraged to do a pageant. I was not a pageant girl. A lot of people in pageants, they grew up doing pageants their entire life. Mm-hmm. Like that's what they do. I was not. I was a runner, as you saw in that picture. I was a college runner, and that's what I spent a lot of time doing. But yeah, I got strongly encouraged.
Wow.
Should do a pageant, and I said, you know what? Okay, let's give it a shot. So I did some lessons with her, and I did a pageant. It was a one and done. I did not win.
Is it like any of the movies? You know, like what was the experience like?
It was fun. It put me way out of my comfort zone because even though we're on camera, you know, people expect you to be super outgoing all the time, but naturally I feel like I have a side to me that's a little more introverted. Like being out in front of live people's faces still intimidates me to this day. Whenever I'm asked to speak at something, I get nervous.
Oh yeah.
It's very different than staring into a camera, you know, or talking one-on-one with someone. So yeah, very out of my comfort zone. But yeah, it was a typical pageant in the sense that, you know, you had the part of it that was talent, you had the part of it that was questions, the part of it walking in your swimsuit. That was very intimidating to me.
Oh, that's terrifying.
But I was a college athlete at the time. I was in the best shape of my whole life, probably. So yeah, it was fine. It was fun. Pushed me. And yeah, I was like, what's my talent going to be if I can't run laps around the stage?
What did you come up with?
I sang.
Whoa. Wait a second. I didn't know you sang.
I don't say I'm a good singer. I will tell you, I took over 10 years of voice lessons as a child. So yes.
Like what ages?
This would have been like starting in elementary school all the way probably into middle school.
Oh my gosh.
I took vocal lessons. I went every single week with a voice coach and did lessons. You're learning all kinds of things about me. But I was not a theater person, as you know. I didn't do show choir in high school. I thought when I was young that I wanted to be a singer, and my parents encouraged me, and I sang a lot.
Oh, that's lovely.
And so, yeah, I think I'm a tolerable singer.
Tolerable.
I do think
she competed in a pageant.
I do think it's one of those things where you just keep practicing and you're better and better. I think I'm worse now than I was then. That's because I don't practice anymore.
Really funny.
Besides my car, maybe my shower.
I have to ask what song it was, if you remember.
It was a country song. I also am a huge country music fan, if you didn't know that about me.
Oh my God.
I have been to probably well over a dozen country concerts. What was the song? I think it was Famous in a Small Town. It's an old song. And yeah, I got up there, I sang a country song, I did all the things.
Wow.
I did not win, but I was out of my comfort zone. But what I spent most of college doing actually was track and cross country.
Yes, let's look at this picture.
Yeah, so I ran Washington High School here in Cedar Rapids. I wasn't really much of a runner till middle school. My middle school gym teacher she kind of encouraged me to push myself in running. I don't know what she saw in me at the time, but I remember going out and doing the time mile in middle school, and like she would push me to hit splits and stuff. And then I fell in love with running in high school. We had time trials at the beginning of high school, and I had a natural gift for running. Like, I don't know what it was.
Awesome.
So I made varsity as a freshman.
Wow.
Yeah, and I hadn't been much of a runner outside of like middle school track at Franklin Middle School here in Cedar Rapids. But yeah, I did have a natural knack for running. And then once you kind of have a natural gift at something, if you work at it, that natural gift can turn into so much more. And so I pushed myself to become actually good at running. So yeah, I ran 4 years of varsity at Wash. And then I went and ran at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, cross country and track. I was training in college 60 to 70 miles a week on average. So most days I would go on an 8 to 10 mile run. Yeah, I was running a lot, a lot. So yeah, I know I told you in my email when I sent you my pictures that I was a level of busy in college. And that's because I was running so much, and there's no off season in running. It's cross country all fall, and then indoor track all winter, and then outdoor track in the spring, and then we run miles all summer. We're logging miles, and then on top of that, I signed up for a pageant randomly and did that because why not add something to my schedule? I love being busy. And then on top of that, I interned. I wanted to be a sports reporter at the time.
Okay,
so I interned.
Let's talk about this.
Yes.
You were the busiest person of all time. Lots of extracurriculars, it seems.
Yes.
How did we get into journalism? How does that click?
So amid all this busyness, I also double majored. So I was studying broadcasting.
Of course you did.
And then I was studying broadcasting, and then my advisor was like, you have enough speech credits to double major in speech, so you should take on a speech major. So then I took extra classes senior year on top of everything else I got myself into, and got my double major. But journalism was something I've always loved because in high school, I was into language arts, I was into writing, I was not into math, I was not into science. You'll hear that from a lot of journalists.
Yeah. We are not math people.
No. And so that's just something that I always loved to write. And that kind of goes in with the music thing even too, because when I was younger in like middle school, I would sit in my bedroom and write songs. Like I would just write all the time. I just constantly had a notebook, constantly had a pen. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just amazing. It's just something I always loved to write. And so, yeah, I just went into journalism. When I was young as a kid too, I remember I would visit my grandparents' house. They live in Omaha, and they would always have on the 10 p.m. news, like religiously. My mom would always have on the morning news, always have on KCRG growing up.
Yeah.
And
same.
so it's just when you're around constantly seeing it, I always thought, how do you get a job like that? Like, how do you do that? That looks like something I would like to do. And so, yeah, there's a broadcasting program at UNO where I went to go run track. So I honestly just felt like it was meant to be because everything fell into place. I went to the broadcasting school. That picture there on the left is me anchoring the Omaha News in college. We did not go live, like we pre-recorded our newscast at that time. But yeah, just getting that experience of, running the teleprompter, anchoring the news, going out and shooting stories. Of course, at that time you had a whole week to turn a story, which feels like an eternity compared to what, our reporters are turning things in a day.
That's the hardest part from college to the quote-unquote real world.
Truly.
Is the daily turn.
Yes. And then on the right there, that is a picture of me with Nebraska legend Johnny Rogers in the upper corner. We're doing the Heisman pose. And then Kenny Bell, who was a player at the time I was in college. So I did this program called ESPNU Campus Connection, where I would go and shoot stories showing off kind of behind the scenes of college athletes. Because like I told you, I wanted to be a sports reporter. So everything I did pretty much in college was sports journalism. And so I went out to the University of Nebraska with somebody who worked with ESPN, and I shot this story and edited it. He did all of the putting it together, but I included this because I was so excited in college that this story actually went on ESPN.com, and I shot it. So I was like, oh my goodness, this just it felt big time. It felt big time back in college. And then of course getting to meet Johnny Rogers. I'm a huge Husker fan, as I think I've made pretty known around here. So that was just a really, really special day.
That's incredible. And those are like some incredible college experiences.
Yes.
To start there. Mm-hmm. So much fun.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, interning at KETV was great because I was able to, see the College World Series. I interned over the summer, and obviously that's a huge event in Omaha and lots of other big events that came through, and just getting that experience of, being there and all the action. It was really, really cool. I learned a lot.
I bet.
Yes.
Okay, so you started in sports reporting. That was your passion.
That was my goal.
That was
in college.
The goal.
Yes.
So we got some photos from your first job, which
Yes.
doesn't look a whole lot like sports reporting.
It is not, no.
What happened here?
Okay, well, as you know, Becky, there are many people that want to be sports reporters. Everybody and their mom wants to be a sports reporter.
Yeah.
And so when you're coming out of college, especially back over 10 years ago, like I just remember sending out so many resumes. I mean, probably like 100 all across the country. And I was like, I will move anywhere. I just want to get my foot in the door. I didn't care if it was going to be a tiny town. I didn't care if I was going to have to move thousands of miles away. So yes, I just started applying to jobs, and I got an interview at Channel 7 to work as the bureau reporter here in Cedar Rapids. So that was crazy to me because I'm from here.
Yes, and that's this is a good market to start in.
I was so thankful. And when you think about just the way things fall into place, sometimes, like I said, with running track at Nebraska Omaha, and then they had this broadcasting school, and I had always wanted to get into broadcasting. I feel like sometimes in life things just fall into place so perfectly.
Yeah.
And this was just one of those moments where I applied all across the country, small towns, different states, thousands of miles away, and I got hired at Channel 7. Now, what was interesting is it was a news job.
Yes.
I had to broaden my horizons in order to get my foot in the door. I said, I should probably see about news. Well, I did not have anything on my reel, like our little demo that we send out to news directors. I did not have anything news, not at all. All I had done in college was sports.
I want to see that reel someday. We're going to dig that up
All
later.
I had done in college was sports. Yes, and so the news director said to me, do you have any examples of work in news? And I was like, no, but I'll have something to you soon. I went out and shot a news story, my first ever news story. This was senior year. I just set up a news story. I remember there were talks about minimum wage going up. I went to a restaurant. I interviewed some workers. I shot a story. I came back. I spent hours editing this story.
Oh my God.
And I sent it back. And I still remember he got back to me and he was like, you got it back to me by airtime, so let's talk. And I went out to Waterloo, sat down, had a conversation, and yes, got a news job. And I am so thankful because I love news now. But I never would have, that wasn't what I thought, my life would look like, what I thought I wanted to do
That's
initially.
the kind of initiative people are looking for, though.
It worked out.
I can see how that would get you hired.
Yeah, I was so thankful, and just to get to come back to my hometown and get to be here in Cedar Rapids, close to loved ones, friends and family both, and then to really get that experience kind of just thrown into the fire of news and working in a bureau. And I felt like I grew so much.
That's really hard.
Yeah,
For people
it's
who
hard.
don't know, when you're in a bureau, you are not only at least an hour away from everyone else that you work with.
Yes.
You are completely alone most times.
Yes.
Maybe you have a photog, but you are working all by yourself. And to do that right out of college would terrify me.
It was scary. I had some rough live shots back in the day.
Haven't we
Initially,
all?
yes, because like I said, in college we weren't live. Like
Yeah.
my school, we weren't live at the time, and so yeah, getting actually being live in front of a camera was terrifying. But yeah, it was a great experience. Most of the time in the bureau, I did not have a photographer, so I was pretty much shooting, writing, editing, running my own live shots. I remember I would take something live, and then I would say, hold on a second while I step behind the camera. I'd walk behind the camera to pan to whatever I was trying to show. So yeah, it was very grindy, but I grew so much. I felt like I learned so much so fast, and I'm thankful for it, honestly.
So now that you've been in news, you're getting your
Yes.
foot wet in news, learning a lot of different kinds of stories.
Yes.
Now, do you have a favorite kind of story, a favorite topic to cover?
It's interesting. So back when I was originally at Channel 7, I did my first murder trial coverage. And I fell in love with court and also just everything that goes with crime in courts. Because anytime, being in the bureau, as you know, like also if something happens, you're the one they call. So I would go to breaking news all the time. Like if there was a shooting, it was 2 a.m, they would call me. So I was always around whatever crime scene, and then getting to see how the courts work and how kind of justice comes for families. through all of that trial coverage. I love it. And so I've covered a lot of murder trials at this point, and kind of, I would say, covering court and kind of the full outcome of like when something bad happens, and then that full outcome of like getting through the courts, family getting justice, talking to them afterwards. I think that's got to be top for me.
You've done some incredible work recently here at KCRG with...
Thank you.
It's Inside the Investigation?
Inside the Investigation. Yes. I've loved this series that we've started. They are time-consuming stories, because we're essentially going through a whole case file after a case is wrapped up. And we're able to see kind of inside the investigation, exactly like it says.
They are amazing
how it came
stories.
to be. Thank you.
It is so difficult to come from the outside and understand some of these cases, because they get so complicated, and legal jargon is tough to understand.
Yes.
But I love the way that you approach these stories, and you make them so understandable.
Good.
Like for people, for me, for stories, cases I haven't covered.
Yeah.
And it is fascinating.
Yeah. They're really interesting to kind of see all of the ins and outs, and kind of how it all comes to be in the end. So we actually just are starting on the next one. So I don't know when it will air. Like I said, they're time consuming. So we are starting work on the Cameron Leonard, which, if you remember the shooting with the DoorDash driver, with Myron Schneider. Yeah, so really interesting. A certain technology was used to help solve that case. It was one of the first times it was really used around here to help solve it. So it kind of will have that interesting angle where we're able to kind of see, how technology plays a role in getting closure in some of these kind of more difficult cases.
I cannot wait for that. That's going to be fascinating. Okay, so for those who maybe don't know, you started at 7.
I did,
but you're here.
I'm here now.
And we're so glad that you're here now.
Thank you.
This is your first day at KCRG.
My first day, yes.
The classic pink.
Yes, pink is my favorite color. So if people pay attention, I wear pink on like all of my favorite days usually. My birthday, my birthday is September 11th. Almost every time I'm in pink, just because it's my birthday and it's my favorite color. So yeah, first day wearing a pink blazer, gotta feel confident.
You absolutely. This is a confident outfit. This is I'm gonna crush this outfit.
Thank you.
You started here as a reporter, right?
I did. Yes.
Okay, because I remember. I hadn't been here very long, but I remember when you started and everyone was so excited.
That's so nice.
Because we watched all your stuff. When someone gets hired, we snoop and we go and we watch their stuff.
What? We're Snoopy?
Yeah, I know. And we were like, oh, Kristin's really good.
Oh, that's so nice. I knew some people here too, because TV is a small world as it is, but when you're in the same market, I mean, I knew some of our photographers and stuff that were here when I was at 7. And so, I was so happy to get to come to KCRG. I did have kind of a 2-year break from TV news where I went and worked in sales and marketing, actually. So yes.
I don't think I've heard much about that.
Yes.
Is that fun?
Yeah, at first. It wasn't my thing. At first I liked it. I had, the regular schedule, the non-working holidays. I had a baby in that time. So yeah, at first it was good, but my true passion is here, and I couldn't be away from it for too long. I think anybody that really has like the news or broadcasting bug, it's part of what they do. Yeah. So yeah, I was definitely itching to get back into TV by the time I came back here. So I was so thankful to get hired at KCRG and to get to start here. But when I got hired and that picture was taken, I had a 4-month-old. So, and it was the middle of the pandemic.
Oh my God.
So I kind of picked a wild time to come back in general.
She has no idea.
But yeah, so I started October 2020, so we're right in the middle of COVID, and I had a baby at home. So yeah, lots of life changes were kind of happening at that time, all at the same time, but I wouldn't change it. It was great to be able to come and work here.
Okay, so you've been here as a reporter,
yes,
as an anchor now. I'm sure that you, like all of us, hear from viewers in your inbox.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have any, I love this question, do you have any frequently asked questions? What are people in your inbox wanting to know?
Usually with the morning show, I think the first one is like, what time do you have to come in? What time do you wake up? So I set a 2:00 a.m. alarm. I am a snoozer. I should. This is the interesting thing, Becky. I'm not a morning person.
That's
I'm
hard
not.
to believe.
I'm not.
I've
yes.
seen you at 4:30.
Yeah.
It's convincing.
Yeah, oh, that's great. That's great. You know, some coffee, some friendly faces. Once I'm up and I have my makeup done and I've got my dress on, like, I feel like you kind of, you know, you're ready and you kind of feel like you could snap into it. But I'm not somebody that, like, my alarm goes off and I fling out of bed and I'm just like, you know, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. No. I usually snooze. I try to get up as quickly as I can.
I'm a snoozer too.
It's so hard. Well, at 2 in the morning, it's so hard.
That's unbelievable.
But I wouldn't trade it. It is so worth it to start the day with people in Eastern Iowa. I love the morning show. It's so much fun. We have such a great team. So yeah, that's probably the number one thing is what time you get up, what time you come into the office. And then people always wonder if Jackie and I coordinate our outfits.
I wonder that.
This is frequently asked.
Every time I walk into the newsroom, they're sitting there and somehow they're coordinating.
Yes.
Even to the shoes sometimes.
I don't know what it is.
And I'm thinking, is there a 2 a.m. text?
I know. We've been accused of lying about the fact that we do not coordinate our outfits.
This is serious.
Yes, because we do match a lot. I don't know what it is. We're just in sync at this point. But early on, I will say, early on when I first started on the morning show, we would text and, you know, I would find out, you know, what colors so we don't clash. I was really nervous to start anchoring.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's just like figuring out, you know, how the morning show works. And it's a 2.5-hour show. And then, okay, what do you wear? All these things, you know? And so we used to early on. We don't text anymore and haven't for a couple years now. With the exception of, you can probably tell when it's like a holiday, of course, we might be like, okay, we're both gonna wear this for Christmas or wear this on St. Patrick's Day. But typically, no, we are not, we're coordinated, but we're not coordinating with each other.
An important technicality.
Yeah.
There we go. It's on the record. They are not lying.
We are not, no.
They have hive brain.
Apparently, if you wake up at, 2 in the morning for a couple years straight, you just kind of eventually get in sync.
And I think you guys just have naturally complementary styles too.
Yeah, I think so too, and that helps.
Fun.
Yeah, we do have a lot in common, so yeah, it's good. Okay.
What's your favorite part about being on the morning?
I think several things, actually. For one, I love the energy of getting to start the day. Like I mentioned, it's hard to wake up, but once I'm up, getting the day going. And even in college, I used to, if our coach would say, do you guys want to have morning practice or do you guys want to practice at 3 after class? I was always voting morning, because even though I'm not a morning person, I do like to get up and get stuff done. I don't like to wait.
That's fair.
And so, yeah. And so I love that I get up, I come to work, and I just get my work done. Also on a personal level, it's wonderful to have so much time with my kids in the afternoons. So I appreciate that about the schedule. But the show itself, I love that, we're incorporating all the hard news of the day, what people maybe missed overnight, but then also having a good time. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I have one more question.
Yes.
Which is, how many cups of coffee do you need to get through the morning show?
I only drink one.
That's incredible.
I only drink one. There are some times I'll joke with Jackie. Sometimes I'm like, it's a 2-cup day. Sometimes I do want an extra cup of coffee, but the mass majority of the time I'm just having 1 cup. And it's kind of interesting. So I'm doing this during the show. So typically, there's certain commercial breaks that we know will be a little longer.
Yes.
So I'll go and I'll start my coffee, and then I'll wait, and then 2 commercial breaks later I'll go and I'll put my creamer in. So it's a process. By the time I'm actually drinking my coffee, it's lukewarm, but I'm like, you know what, we got coffee, it's all good. She
can't even relax during the show. She is always busy. Always busy.
Yeah, I think I thrive on being busy, so it's perfect for me.
That's amazing. Kristin, thank you so much for coming here to talk about your career and how you got here. I learned a lot, so I'm sure everyone else did too. But again, thank you so much for being here.
This was fun. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and of course, if you have any questions you'd like us to answer here on Ask 9, you can send us a message on Facebook or send us an email. Have a great evening.